And then at the bottom, it's a summary. So what does that exactly look like? Well, if we take this as an example, let's say that you wrote in your notes, one cause of civil war was economic problems in the country. Right across from it after class, you would write the same thing that you wrote here, except just shorter, just a few words, like a title. So you might write economic problems. And then you'd slide down and read second cause of civil war was slavery, and you'd write the word slavery here, and then you do that all the way down. So that's what these titles look like. And then the last thing you do is to write a short summary, just a couple of sentences, where you name the main ideas again and maybe give a couple of details. And then when you're done, that's it. That's kind of the package deal. All right, now I want to show you an example of how this works, and then I'm going to give you sort of an explanation of why this tends to help a lot. Okay, so let me go ahead and give you this. This should look at least sort of familiar to you, okay, because it's the same form as what I just explained, but this is what it looks like, again, actually having been taken. Yep. I think that's right. Okay, so these are notes from a lecture in a biology class, and they all deal with poisonous animals, as you can see there. And so the person who took these notes wrote the main ideas, which were the animals that were being discussed, and then all kinds of details about each one. Went back out to the margin, details, back out, etc. Same form. All of this on the left, all of this on the bottom, again, was not touched during class at all. I want to have you take a look at all of this, and I know that you haven't actually heard this lecture, but I just want to show you a few things. I talked about leaving out unimportant words, abbreviating. If you look at the very top of the page where it says arrow poison frog, the very first fact listed there, even though you've never heard this before, I bet you can figure out what it says. What does it say? Rainforest. And what's the other part? Yeah. All right. See, this is hard going backwards from not having heard it, right? What this first phrase was in the lecture was this animal, the arrow poison frog, lives in the rainforests of South and Central America. Okay, that's what that means. And there are 40 types. They're all less than 2 inches long, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, so rather than writing, they live in the rainforests of South and Central America, which would take you forever, you try to figure out a way to shorten words, to abbreviate, and just write it like a skeleton without any meat on it. That's the way I describe the notes. And again, if you gave this to an English teacher, they'd have a heart attack looking at it because it's all terrible, no correct spelling, grammar, it doesn't matter, okay? As long as you understand what it means, that's the important thing. Also, remember I said a little while ago that doing a little research ahead of time and figuring out some abbreviations you're going to use is very helpful. Well, if you look in the upper corner of the page, you see where it says P equals poison. This person knew that this lecture was going to be about poisonous animals, and they thought, I'm going to have to write the word poison, poisonous, poisoned all the time. I don't want to write that. It takes too long. So they came up with a little key that every time they have to write any of those words, they're going to just put a capital P. And if you look down the list, you see a lot of capital Ps, and that saved precious